We continue here in Smokies Gameday Live. I'm Greg Young, and we're up here on the concourse. And speaking of that, you can visit with one of the Smokies relievers right now. That's Lendy Castillo, who is signing autographs up here on the concourse as we get you ready for the first pitch tonight. Also, make sure to check out Citizens National Bank. They'll be having a CNB money grab tonight, so their booth is set up here on the concourse as well. Well, I say we, that's because joining me here in the Smokie Gameday Live set is Pierce Johnson, starter for the Tennessee Smokies, who in the second half of the season has put up just amazing numbers. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And let me ask you, in your last start, you of course took a no-hitter into the sixth inning. Second straight time that you've done that. Were you thinking about it at all the last time out, about the no-hitter or anything like that?
A little bit. I mean, you could just hear the guys, you kind of stay away from you a little bit. And we knew it was a 7-inning game, so, I mean, I had the opportunity to, possibly do it. But, yeah, it was definitely going through my mind.
What about the last time around? Of course, that was a 9-inning game, and I don't know, but I mean, I was talking to some of the guys earlier, and the 7 innings, sometimes it cheapens it a little bit, right? You want the 9-inning one, right? That's the one you want. But were you thinking about it all that day?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's a little different, more of a focus. I mean, I had every single pitch. I wanted to be perfect, and I think that's the wrong way to go about it. But because it was in my head that I was just trying to do too much.
So you're a little bit too fine. Well, how do you like to pitch then? I mean, are you a person are you sweating over every single little detail or no?
I mean, in that situation I was, but in a regular game, I'm just trying to throw good pitches, not great ones, trying to get a lot of ground balls and quick innings. So in a game like that, though, I mean, it's hard not to.
Now, you, of course, started the season on the disabled list, coming back from injury, came to Tennessee, had very good success, left for a little bit, and now you've come back, and I mean, you've been dialed in, I guess is a good way to say it. I mean, the second half of the season, an ERA of less than 2. Over the last 7 starts, I think it's only 2 or 3 runs given up or so, or 7 runs, 7 earned runs given up or so. What has been the key for you here recently?
I'm trying to keep it simple. Like I said, I was trying to make good pitches, not great ones. And when I first got called up, I kind of got in the whole thing of, this is a huge difference between high A and double A. And I thought too much about it, and I was trying to do too much. And especially coming off injury, I feel like I had to make up for lost time, and that was my fault. So I think I just kind of simplified everything, got back in my routine, and I'm just trying to keep my team in the ball game because if I can go 7 innings, that gives my relievers a break, and I just want to give my team the best opportunity to win.
Pierce Johnson, our guest here in Smokies Gameday Live, starter, of course, for your Tennessee Smokies, and one of the top prospects in the Cubs farm system as far as pitchers are concerned. Speak on that if you don't mind. Just the term, the prospect. I mean, we all know what it means, but for you, I mean, is that something that adds weight? Does it have weight for you, that word?
I think a little bit, but I think it's more on our position players, with the core 4, and then you add Russell and Schwarber into that. I mean, most of our prospects are position players, which kind of makes all the pitchers fly under the radar, which is fine with me. But I think it adds a little bit more pressure, just because people know who you are, but at the same time, I think pressure's added on by yourself. If you just go out there and do your job and, stick to your routine and everything, I think everything is just going to fall into place.
I read an article today on Grantland.com, one of the affiliates of ESPN, and they talked a lot about what you just mentioned there, that a lot of the big prospects, if you will, or the up-and-coming rebuilding core pieces of the Cubs are all position players. Mm-hmm. As a pitcher, and maybe even speaking on behalf of a guy like C.J. Edwards or a Corey Black, who are also big-time prospects pitching-wise, do you guys feel slighted at all? When you hear that the Cubs are rebuilding right now, and they're building this huge foundation, this strong foundation, and they're doing it with bats, does that kind of make you guys, I guess, sort of hidden and sort of pushed aside at all?
I wouldn't say pushed aside, but I think hidden is a better word. But that's not a problem, honestly, because, we're behind some of the best talent that I've played with. So, in honesty, it's an honor because, you got Chris Bryant, Albert Almora, Russell, all these guys. These guys are phenomenal talents, and obviously they're making a noise in the big leagues already with Javi and Alcantara. But, it's just an honor to be a prospect, I should say.
You had a chance, of course, to play with Chris Bryant here, Jorge Soler, and be around guys like Javier Baez in spring training or just in years past. Is there anything that you saw? We all were awed by the power that Bryant displayed, the numbers that he put up. Same thing with Soler here this year. Was there a moment that you can think of with any one of those guys where you just were taken aback, like, I can't believe I just saw that?
I think it was every day with Chris Bryant,
really?
Honestly. Just the way that guy approached the game, it was awesome. I even think his fielding is underrated. He has a great arm, and he did really well at third base here. And But I mean, every time he stepped up to the plate, it was something to watch because he had the phenomenal power. He always came up in clutch situations. But one time I remember it was my last start before I got hurt, and Mississippi, and he wasn't feeling good at all. And he goes up in a pinch hit and hits it off the wall like it was nothing.
Oh,
it was
wow.
just like, how do you just turn it on like that? But no, I mean, and the cool thing about all these guys is they're great guys too. Great guys to be around in the clubhouse. You can ask them anything. They're not too cool to talk. They're just the nicest guys, which I think adds even more to their character.
If you could define for us what it means, say, to be you in a start, when Pierce Johnson is right and Pierce Johnson is Pierce Johnson, what does that mean?
I don't know. Maybe good hair coming out of the hat. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm kind of quiet. I like to joke around with all my good friends, but I like to be professional. That's what I try to do every day. Go out there and be consistent. And
what about in the game, on the mound? I mean, is there something that when you know that you're right? I mean, is there something that you kind of key off of or look for?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I never actually thought about that.
Go with the flow, maybe, right? That's the Twitter handle, right? Flow,
yeah,
bro?
Flow, bro. It is. It is. So, yeah, I'm going to go with good hair. Good
there you
hair.
go.
That's
all right. Well, hey, we couldn't ask for much more from you and sitting down with us here in Smokies Gameday Live. And thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, folks, we continue next as we get you ready for the first pitch tonight. It's at 7:15, and we continue next here in Smokies Gameday Live.